The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? It's Dupree, aka Darth Hater here with some brand new fresh Star Wars news. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and also check out my last video because it greatly helps out the channel. So let's get into it. So, going all the way back to beginning and the making of The Mandalorian, it would seem that George Lucas had a notable concern about how Grogu was handled in that show. But Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and everybody luckily found a way around it. Filoni was initially hesitant to include a baby species of Yoda in The Mandalorian as he didn't want to take away from the mystique of the Jedi Master. Eventually, he and Favreau created one of the most popular characters in Star Wars franchise. But it took some convincing, and the director needed to hear from his master on the idea as well. Grogu's abilities with the Force and how he chose to follow the Jedi path are known now. But there was a time when the creative minds behind the character didn't fully know the little guy's backstory. So Filoni turned to Lucas for advice on how to handle Star Wars' new mascot. In the Star Wars book, The Art of the Mandalorian Season 2, writer-director Dave Filoni revealed that he had discussions with George Lucas regarding Grogu. In those talks, the creator wanted to ensure that the character had learned how to hone his Force abilities. He went on to say, "I had a talk with George at one point about the child, and his main concern was that the kid has to have a proper amount of training. Grogu is an interesting situation in Star Wars because he's a baby. Not in the sense that he's a cash cow for endless merchandise or that he can be used in stories for the next 1,000 years. Having a character who's Force sensitive and learned under the Jedi but remains a baby decades after the Order's demise is a unique concept, and the believability of what he can do hinges entirely on what he's learned before." Luckily, the team behind The Mandalorian managed to steer clear of Lucas's biggest worry about introducing a baby version of Yoda, and it seems that this will continue in the third season. It makes complete sense that Lucas would find it critical that Grogu has proper training. This goes for both the past and the present. For Grogu to demonstrate such power as to lift a mudhorn or to heal injuries, he would need to have been taught how to make use of his abilities. While his exile may have been hindered his growth, and it's important that the kid continues to learn if he's going to grow beyond his helpless state and become a capable warrior and even possibly eventually a teacher. Basically, Grogu is the opposite of Rey. He's of a species that's naturally gifted with the Force, seemingly, but without training and discipline. There's no chance of him evolving as a Jedi. Filoni and Favreau have followed the principles of becoming a Jedi, with the character emphasizing the need for him to devote himself and take the time needed to harness his abilities. As Luke tells Mando before taking Grogu, talent without training is nothing. While Grogu has left Luke's tutelage behind for the time being, that doesn't mean his training is over. Mando undoubtedly has a lot to instill upon his surrogate son ahead in Season 3, even if he isn't the Jedi Ferrari, even if he isn't a Jedi or Force sensitive himself. Grogu straddling the lines between the two worlds of the Force and one of the Mandalorian will make his growth going forward feel even richer whilst honoring Lucas's hopes for the character moving forward. This isn't the only key piece of advice Lucas instilled on the current team at Lucasfilm, with the creator even having a major influence on the crew's design philosophy. What do I think about this? Yes. When it came to Yoda and the whole backstory behind Yoda, George Lucas wanted it to be in secret. He didn't want anybody to know where Yoda came from, what his species was, why Yoda was so strong with the Force. Are there other members of Yoda's species aside from Yoda, Yaddle, and now Grogu? He wanted that part of Star Wars to keep a mystery, which I fully respect because some things are more appreciated or not everything is given to you. Sometimes things just need to have their own mystique and need to be kept that way. And same thing with Grogu. I like that he potentially is the new setup for Star Wars going on for another 1,000 years, potentially storytelling. And I respect George's decision with all this. After all, he is the father of the franchise, he is the creator, and he does know best. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are basically his students, so going forward, they eventually had to become the teachers themselves, learning from the master. But let me know what you think down below. Do you think the decision to keep Grogu's mystique and everything a secret is valid. You want to know where Grogu came from, or where Yoda and his species all come from, and why they're strong in the Force, let me know in you guys' comments down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell to get notifications from my latest videos. That would be great. Anyway guys, take care, see you in the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye.